Go, hell, go!
Get alongside that one!
Welcome back to the MCU. I'm Marius and this is my cinematic universe, and today we're looking at the brand new Star Wars Black Series Scout Trooper from Return of the Jedi, and this is released now for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and it's slowly getting populated into stores. I picked mine up at GameStop because I had heard that GameStop was selling these things earlier than a lot of other stores, so I ran to my closest GameStop and picked it up there. So this is a helmet that's been long awaited, and it's been hard to find copies of this. EFX and some other makers have made these, but they are very expensive, and this is the first time it's been available in a really good quality prop replica. Let's pop it open. If I can figure out how these weird boxes work. All right, there we go. Oh. Yeah. I don't know what that is. Something soft. And this is something hard. All right. Let's open up all these guys first. Okay, some kind of padding. And, oh, there we go. Thought it was going to be bigger. All right, so here we go. Oh, it's hot in here. All right, so here we go. This guy for the battery. This is the chin strap and a padding. So let's stuff these things on. Like so. Like this. Put some batteries in. And then we put this cover on, pop it in. So this is one of the first things that we have to talk about where things are not entirely accurate. The screen used ones, the accurate Scout Trooper helmets, have these markings just painted on. So there's no actual gap here, and it's just painted on. But that's okay. I mean, it's on the one, it's on the back. Two, it looks like it could have been for real. It looks functional, so I appreciate that. They could easily just have had the battery compartment inside the helmet. I don't know why they chose to do it in the back. That seems more expensive and more complicated, but that is one thing to keep in mind, that is different than the screen accurate ones. But overall, this is an awesome helmet. I mean, every time the Black Series releases a helmet, I think they just completely knock it out of the park. They just really do an amazing job at both price, quality build, and just likeness. I don't know if they went through the archives and did scans or how they made this helmet, if it's based on actual screen used helmets in the Lucasfilm archives, which I hope they are, but there are some differences. So overall, the shape is pretty good. It's the correct size. Little things like these vents or whatever they're supposed to be, they're just kind of closed openings, so they're decorative vents. The mouthpiece here is very nice. It's very plastic looking, but so were the fiberglass helmets from that was screen used, so none of them looked any more like real than this. There are some little tweaks here to make it more symmetrical and more idealized, which we've talked about before, and honestly I prefer that unless I have the actual real prop. I don't need it to be all wonky and warped and disfigured from being handmade in fiberglass, rushed to get it done for a production for somebody who's going to be in the background. I kind of prefer that they are a little bit more idealized and a little bit more how they're supposed to be in universe. And in that sense, I think they did a really good job. And I'm happy to say that this is the good kind of plastic. I don't know if you watched my video on the first order helmets, and the plastic on that one, I can show it right now. The plastic on this one is a very cheap looking plastic. It has a lot of purple, magenta in the white. This one is more yellow, a little bit more on the green side maybe, but definitely a nicer quality white plastic than this guy. So, with the plastic being top-notch, now let's look at some other things. I did notice that the screen used and the EFX helmets had little divots here in the opening mechanism here, the hinge mechanism. These ones are completely smooth, but all the other ones have a tiny little divot. But I don't think that's a feature. I think that's a defect or just the way it was made. So I'm okay with that. If you wanted to be more screen accurate, I guess you could just grind down a little divot here yeah, you can make it more screen accurate. The grates on these things are nice, but again, this is all plastic, but it's got a nice metal finish on it, so that's okay. And then it just opens up like this, which is awesome. And now you can see that it really is a Stormtrooper helmet on the back, but with a different visor. Here is another thing that is different from the screen used and the EFX helmets is the actual helmet part. The brim here is very different. I don't know why they ended up with a different design here than the actual screen used one, but you're probably not going to be displaying this with the visor up anyway, so it probably doesn't really matter. But it is a shame that it is a little different, that they couldn't just have made it the way that it was designed and made originally. But it's a small thing, and for the price of this helmet, availability and everything, it's just it's okay, it doesn't matter. And for the first time ever, we can actually get a nice look on the inside of the helmet. And like all these helmets, unlike the Halo helmet that I just reviewed, this one has an inside, and they always have insides. They have what looks like functional interior. It's got textures, it got designs, they got little greeblies and little knickknacks in here to make it look like it could be functional. All black, all molded in one piece though. So it definitely looks like it's just one molded piece. But I prefer having something in universe and something designed versus just an empty shell anyway. Let's try this guy on. Do you put it on with the visor up or down? I'm gonna try with the visor down. All right. Scout Trooper. It's a little, even with the chin strap, I don't know, you gotta have it really tight without it feeling like it's floating on your head. But I don't know, I think that's okay. Ooh, I like how it fits. This is pretty awesome. It's actually a good, nice fit. But again, it's a little loose. You gotta have that strap really tight in order to not be kind of like floating on top here. Ooh. Can't breathe in this thing. It does have a voice changing function. The button is over here, and let's try it out. It's probably not very good. I don't really understand the point of these voice changing helmets, but it is what it is. This is what it sounds like, and let me know what you think. Are you going to be using this, Rebel Scum? Hasbro and Black Series have done an amazing job at making a helmet that is just top of the line. For the price, this runs about like $130. This is the cheapest high quality helmet that you can get anywhere, and it is pretty darn accurate, except for those little things we mentioned, like the inner cap part, the little divots here on the hinges, the hatch here versus just painted on, and then of course the material, which is just ABS plastic or something similar. Every time Black Series does a helmet, it is really just amazing, and they did this again. It's definitely a recommend. It's an iconic helmet. It's been coveted by everybody in the helmet community, I think, and everyone's wanted one since they saw one in Return of the Jedi 40 years ago when it came out, or if you saw it more recent, you probably still wanted a Scout Trooper helmet. It's so iconic that it's even in The Mandalorian. So run out, get one, because it is awesome. If you like this helmet, I'm sure you're gonna like this guy and this guy too, because they are all awesome Black Series helmets that you should have in your collection.